This podcast is brought to you by ITV Studios. From edge-of-your-seat drama to entertainment with serious buzz, we've got it all and then some. Want in? Head to itvstudios.com or grab the ITV Studios Watch Anywhere app to stream full episodes anytime, even offline. Big drama, bold formats, real stories, all under one roof from ITV Studios.
Hi, I'm Justin Crosby and welcome to the third and final MIPCOM special from Cannes. On this week's show, we've got Joe Churchill from branded content business Fan Club, actor Warren Brown and writer Matt Baker, Luci Sanan from Cowshed Ventures, Robbie Lyle from Arsenal Fan TV, and Geurtsen from EndemolShine, Nederland. I hope you enjoy the show. So I'm here with Joe Churchill from Fan Club, new company that you've just set up 6 months ago, wasn't it, Joe?
Just under. I think we're in like month 4, just the beginning of month 4. So we're still kind of fresh out the gate, I would say.
Yeah, and STV, they invested in the business. Tell us a little bit about, what the purpose of your business is and, what specifically you're going to be offering the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So Fan Club is a digital agency and our mission is to turn brands into broadcasters. It's a snappy tagline, but it could mean lots of different things. But essentially what we do is we take the traditional brand partnerships model where brands would go to media owners and effectively kind of rent their audiences and reach their audiences through content. We do that whole end-to-end service, but we're a kind of plug-in media partner to the brands. So we create the content, craft their channel identity, produce all of the content, and then we distribute it on their owned and operated channels. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And then we work with them to manage those channels, grow the community, grow the audience. And I think the difference between us and a traditional partnership, even though it operates in much the same way, is that they get something of lasting value at the end of it. So we'll give them all of those key metrics that they would get with a brand partner, but we also guarantee them an audience which they own after that. So they can, there's lots of kind of value and ROI that they can get from owning that audience rather than renting.
Okay, so if we look at a great example of that, Foot Asylum, I suppose, is one of the brands that's really sort of leaned heavily into creating their own channels and their own formats and their own content as a way to engage their audience, have a direct relationship with the audience, and then off the back of that, it's all about app downloads for them and lifetime value of customers. So it seems to be very smart way of building your brand and having a direct relationship with that consumer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Foot Asylum blazed the trail on this, absolutely. And then you've also got JD Sports, Pretty Little Thing, Boohoo Man, all kind of playing in that space and creating their own content for their own audience. That's very much in one kind of niche of content. It's youth focused, it's Gen Z, it's creator led entertainment formats, which is one way to go. And it's fantastic to see what they're doing. But what we do is much broader than that. So we've certainly reached a critical mass now where everyone is online. The fastest growing demographic on YouTube is the over 50s. My mum is on Instagram. So whoever the brand is, whoever their target audience is, you can reach them really effectively on these platforms. And it's interesting to see people like Marks and Spencer's have just launched their own YouTube series called Love That. And that's been really successful for them. You can see the comments popping off. And that is, a much more kind of a broad, grown-up brand. And, the briefs that we've been getting, the brands we've been talking to, it's a really diverse array who want to speak to very different audiences in very different ways. And that's what is really exciting for me about this space, is to broaden it out from that kind of youth culture to take it in lots of different directions.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting because obviously the brands that you mentioned, they're all of a similar obviously, as you say, demographic. They're looking to but they're all clothing brands or footwear brands, etc. So you mentioned Marks and Spencer's. What other sectors do you think outside of like supermarkets and clothing brands do you think that are really ripe for creating their own channels?
Yeah. So there's a few kind of key perennial sectors that I think keep coming up. So like DIY and kind of home interiors, those kind of big brands. that's a really good space to play. And we were talking to a lot of those people when I was at Channel 4. Certainly kind of tech brands and electronics brands as well. They, you know, I think they are looking to play in this space, and they're a big kind of target for us. And also automotive. You know, automotive is very kind of stuck in a particular form of advertising a lot of the time, which is very premium, very expensive, not really designed to connect with an audience, but just showcase the car. But cars are literally vehicles for brilliant content. Like they're very useful to kind of integrate into a content series. So that would be a good one we would love to be working in. And then travel. I think travel as well is a perennial, and that can be everything from tourist boards to kind of EasyJet style airlines to like package holiday brands. That's something that is geared towards fantastic content, and you've seen, you know, brands like Jet2 just going viral with their theme tune last year. Just shows that, you know, there's something about everyone loves traveling, right? So for an audience, like they're brands that you know inspire a bit of joy in us already.
Yeah, and obviously the way that people use YouTube as a search engine, obviously to, you know, how-to content, etc. It sort of suits itself very well to, like you said, DIY brands or other brands like that, because that's the beauty of YouTube, as opposed to it just being, you know, a broadcaster, if you like. It's also the search engine, and it's also, you know, that community around content that you know, that separates it from many of the other social platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is what we always say to brands is like, start niche, find your niche, speak to that niche and build your core community there. And then once you've nailed that, you can grow and broaden out in lots of different directions. That's what, you know, I think a lot of the most successful creators have done, a lot of the most successful channels, things like Supercar Blondie, starting with one super simple thing, and then you can grow and you can go in all sorts of different directions.
Yeah. You were at Channel 4. What did you learn at Channel 4 then, do you think, that you're applying to Fan Club? You know, what are the key learnings you took from your time there, and obviously applying it now to your new business?
Yeah, I mean, I learned, so I come from a kind of TV production and development background. I was running a production company before I joined Channel 4. I think that was my first kind of immersion in the world of media agencies, of kind of sales teams, of like real kind of deep brand strategy and platform strategy. So, I mean, I was a sponge for like 4 years there, just like really absorbing all of this information, working with genuinely some of the best people in the industry who have been, you know, at the cutting edge of digital publishing. And what our mission always was there was to bring that broadcast quality, you know, the kind of craft and the storytelling, and also the rigor and the kind of checks and balances of compliance that comes with a big service public service broadcaster, but combine that with the reach of social and the expertise in optimizing for those platforms that enable you to really successfully land content that doesn't just, you know, it's not just about the views. It's not just about hooking people in with clickbait at the start. It's about grabbing their attention, but it's also keeping their attention. And, you know, we saw very high retention rates across all of our content in branded ents. And so, yeah, I learned a huge amount from that. And that's definitely something that, you know, I'm bringing through to Fan Club. Like, we've been very clear from the start that whilst, you know, in some senses we're kind of unshackled from, you know, the self-governance that comes with a big organization like Channel 4, we're absolutely going to be retaining those editorial standards and making content that is exceptional, that has high standards of duty of care, you know, that has that kind of trust and credibility. But we're a little bit more freer in how we operate with the platforms and how we lean into the different kind of functionalities on each of the platforms to really drive kind of awareness, sentiment, and recall for brands. So, you know, we can be a little bit more on the nose with the brand integration, but I think we can do that in a way that doesn't disrupt the show for the audience. And I think audiences are very savvy now. Like, they're very used to branded entertainment, and they don't mind if the content comes from a creator, from a brand, from a broadcaster. So if it is from a brand, acknowledge that straight away. And as long as you're then showing them something that's entertaining or useful or educational, they'll still stick around. And
who is it that you're predominantly dealing with when it comes to brands? Are you speaking to brands direct, or are you speaking to media agencies or PR agencies or advertising agencies? You know, who are the key decision makers? Because presumably, there's a huge amount of disruption going on in the advertising industry, and brands are starting more and more to build their own internal agencies and actually take back that control a little bit. Are you seeing your conversation to direct to brands more than ever?
It's a real kind of mixed ecosystem, actually. So we've got really good relationships with the media agencies, and they were our kind of main customers when we were at Channel 4. And so we're working a lot with media agencies, trying to help them identify the brands who are ready for this kind of evolution of their branded entertainment. But we're also talking direct to brand as well. And, I would say both of those approaches can really work and really bear fruit. Media agencies, are brilliant at kind of educating their clients and taking them on that journey so that when you engage with them, they already kind of know what they're getting into. And whilst, going brand direct can sometimes be a bit kind of quicker and cleaner, often there's a bit more of an education piece that you need to do because they're jumping into something that they might not be that familiar with. Yeah. We're doing both of those, and we're a startup. We're in very early stages, so really we're out there just talking to everybody at this stage.
Well, you're also going to be a partner for the Digital Content Forum, of course, which is coming up on 6th of November. Tell us a little bit about what delegates can expect from your session.
Yeah, so we're going to do a hot take session, slightly inspired by Subway takes, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with. We want to get people talking and get a little bit of debate in the room. So we're bringing down some brands and someone from an agency, and we're going to go through some hot takes on what the future of branded entertainment might look like. Going to throw some quite provocative ones out there, and then we're going to see who agrees and who disagrees with these hot takes, and use those as kind of launch pads for discussion. We're hoping to make it a bit interactive as well, so we'll hopefully get the audience playing along and find out what percentage of the room agrees with some of these spiky things that we're chucking out.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think very valuable. That's what we're always trying to do in the Digital Content Forum. It's about insights and learning. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Joe, thank you so much for joining me on our TellyCast MIPCOM special. Great to see you.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
See you on the 6th of November, and enjoy the rest of MIPCOM in Cannes.
Thank you. We'll see you for a glass of rosé before that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Want to get ahead in digital-first content? The Drop is the go-to newsletter for industry professionals, delivering insider news, trends, and insights straight to your inbox. Navigate the fast-changing landscape of digital-first production, distribution, and monetization. Sign up now for free at dropmedia.co.uk and stay informed with The Drop.
So I'm here with Warren Brown, who's the star of A Taste for Murder, brand new drama series from ITV Studios, and Matt Baker, who's the writer of A Taste for Murder. Welcome, guys. Great to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Matt, starting with you. Tell us about the story of A Taste for Murder, because this is something that you wrote in lockdown, and it's a really different kind of drama series in terms of being set in Capri and the elements of food and interesting mashup, if you like.
It is a mashup. It's a good way of putting it. Yes. So it's the origin of the show is that I went on holiday to Italy with my wife, and we had a friend who had been very lucky and worked on a documentary about Italian food and culture. And we were going to Italy, and we said, "Where should we go? Where you've been to a lot of great restaurants. Where should we go?" And he sent us to this seaside restaurant, middle of nowhere, miles away. Cursing him, got there. Best food experience of our lives, and there was something about the way the Italians do do food, do restaurants, but also the sort of family nature of it. So it's a family restaurant, little quiet place. Granddad, the patriarch, was in the kitchen. Daughter-in-law was waiting on tables. Mum was front of house. Grandkids. It was just a brilliant location, and we thought, how can we get this into a TV drama? And then when we were thinking about, I've written a number of crime procedurals, which have been adaptations of shows shot in other languages, and wanted to do our first original crime procedural, if you like, thinking, how can we make it different? we thought about the restaurant, and the sort of the idea sort of germinated from there. How would you build a food dimension into a show like this and make it the sort of beating heart of the show, if you like? So that was the genesis of the idea.
Yeah, and Warren, so what attracted you to the role? Tell us about your character as well in A Taste for Murder, and what attracted you to the role?
So I play Joe Mottram, who is a detective with the Met Police in London, but after tragically losing his wife in an accident, he and his teenage daughter embark on a journey to Italy to spend time with the in-laws, I guess with the hope of taking time out of work to try and reconnect with his daughter, obviously with the mum and wife no longer around. It's fair to say, that their relationship is kind of under a lot of pressure. So the hopes to try and, take some time off work, try and reconnect, try and spend some time and improve this relationship. But, that kind of goes a little bit wayward when once they arrive in Italy and his dead wife's, I'm getting it right this time, not the wife's dead cousin, his dead wife's cousin is arrested and accused of a murder. So then Joe is kind of drawn back into the police world that he's trying to, I guess, avoid at this moment, to try and help the family. You asked that what attracted me, brilliant scripts, but also just so many different ingredients than I think we've certainly, in my own experience of having been involved in crime procedurals, that this was kind of, it wasn't at the forefront. The actual, the heart of it was a family coming together, trying to grieve a loss, and then an extra element of that they run a fantastic restaurant and bringing together these two cultures and two, I guess, certainly for Joe's characters, different attitudes towards food and what it means and what it represents. And the Italians in this restaurant are so passionate about it, and it's such a big part of life, actually sitting down and not just eating that we all do every day, but taking your time with it, being passionate about it, actually connecting and really talking and getting through things through food, which
it's that family unit, really.
Alien towards. It's completely alien for Joe, because he admits in the first episode that we don't sit down and talk, and they're flabbergasted that he doesn't cook. So they again kind of attempt to rectify that. So he also goes on a bit of a journey trying to learn to cook, with the hope of being able to cook for his daughter, and hoping that could be a way in for the relationship to start rebuilding.
Yeah. And how much of a role does Capri and food have within the drama? I mean, is it playing an integral role?
Well, so Capri, obviously, yes. It's set in Capri, and I think when you're trying to write these kind of shows, you're trying to. Obviously, as I said a little bit earlier, you're spending a lot of time thinking about how to murder people, and your internet search history gets full of, name me a poison that's undetectable after 5 minutes, all that kind of stuff. So, I joke a lot that if anybody close to me ever does turn up dead, I'm absolutely stuffed, because the Met Police will have me banged to rights within about 5 minutes. But you're looking for different ways for doing things. And the thing about Capri is it's got amazing history. It's also got amazing geography. So it's this kind of beautiful kind of limestone jewel, azure kind of Bay of Naples. It's a gorgeous place. But it's very hilly. It's up and down, so you've got cliffs, So it's a great playground for your imagination. It's also got great history. So you've got, palaces from Roman emperors, but also it's got the Hollywood connection from the 50s. So you've got all these different elements to play with. And so when you're trying to come up with murders, you've just got a lot to work with. A lot of things that can distinguish and differentiate the show. Because at the heart of these types of shows, every week someone gets killed or someone dies in unexplained circumstances. You've got to find a way to refresh the formula. So that was the Capri element. The food element is it's the thing that binds the two halves of the show together, I would say, and I think as Warren articulated very nicely. It's that sense of food is the emotional heart of the story. It's how families connect? How do they express themselves to each other? And, Brits, let's be honest, are less good at that. And I think men in particular, British men, aren't the most known for being the most emotionally articulate people in the world. So how do you learn that? How do you... there is a sort of, you don't want to make two completely separate shows. So there are always elements in each episode where something about the food dimension provides a bridge into the crime. So it's something about the recipe he's cooking or the circumstance in which he's eating, which helps him gain emotional insight that helps him do his day job. So the two parts of the show work together in hopefully quite clever harness like that.
How long were you in Capri filming then, Warren? Was this I imagine quite a nice experience being there for a while?
Well, just remember we were filming off season, weren't we?
Yes,
so it wasn't as nice as you think.
Yeah, and often, you're dodging weather and, as I say, out of season. But if you're in that location and you've got those stunning vistas, and as you see on camera, it looks incredible.
It does. Yeah, it really does. It's beautiful. You're here launching the show at MIPCOM to international buyers. So I wish you all the very best with it. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Justin. Cheers.
This episode of TellyCast is brought to you with Shaftesbury, the hit-making producer behind international series like Murdoch Mysteries, Hudson and Rex, Departure and Hell Motel. Shaftesbury builds worldwide fandoms across digital, live events, Roblox and more, creating entertainment brands that live far beyond the screen. Check out Shaftesbury's Jay Bennett on TellyCast, speaking from MIPCOM 2025, sharing how smart marketing, multi-platform rollouts and innovative IP strategies keep global audiences coming back for more. Shaftesbury, built on legacy, driven by what's next.
So I'm here with Luci Sanan, who's head of Cowshed Ventures, part of the overall Cowshed Group. How are you doing, Lucy?
Hi, Justin. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. This is all right, isn't it? It's by the
not
beach.
too bad.
Yeah. And so you've got a new news story, Cowshed, and we'll talk about Cowshed in a little bit more detail. But first of all, let's get to the news that you've just announced. So tell us about this new deal that you've struck.
Yeah, so we're really excited. Struck a deal with Propagate out of LA to set up a joint venture of a new YouTube channel called Survive Plus, which is going to be the new home for must-see adventure content with Bear Grylls, Jack Randall, and lots of content that you know and original content as well.
Wow, okay. And so there's obviously a huge catalogue there from Bear Grylls, obviously, which is well known all over the world. I mean, tell us about some original content you might be producing as well.
So I think it's an interesting model because it brings the digital first production expertise of Cowshed together with the known and loved names like Bear Grylls of must-see adventure content. And we've managed to tap into some really authentic original creators like Jack Randall, who's a zoologist who goes around the world discovering new wonderful creatures and places to bring to his audience in a really engaging way. So we're doing some original content with Jack, the bear content, must-see series like The Survivalists, and hopefully touch wood some new great adventure content going forward.
Well, this is kind of indicative of this move from the traditional media industry into creator world, but also digital-first studios, and it's all starting to sort of meld and mash up together, and some interesting models. So where did this relationship start? Was it something that Propagate approached Cowshed, or just give us an idea of where it...
That's an interesting question. I think that... working with Cowshed, I have lots of conversations with people from the traditional broadcast world about how to work in digital and how to collaborate in that digital space. And we're really open to collaboration. So Dan and I, Dan at Propagate and myself, were talking about, is there a way to look at the content that Propagate distributes and the great relationships they have with the big American broadcast series and bring that together with Cowshed's digital expertise. And we said, why don't we set up a channel together? Why don't we look at the great catalogue content that Propagate have got and third party that we can go after and combine that with some digital expertise and the not just the production expertise on the Cowshed side, but the publication expertise, the ability to reach audiences, not just on YouTube, long form, but also across all social, and optimize that and use our brand expertise to bring in brand sponsorships and hopefully make the stars align and create a must-see audience and must-see location for audience wherever they are across social, YouTube, and you can go and watch it on linear as well.
All right, so it's not purely YouTube. It's like multi-channel, it's multi-platform.
Yeah, I think it's always important to try and reach the audience where they are. And YouTube's incredible. That's the number one starting point that we're starting with, but we're also launching across all social channels. And yes, I think that depending, there are rights restrictions on some of this content because it's Bear Grylls, so of course you'd expect that, but where we can, we'll be exploiting it, cut downs, must-see moments across social, and the Jack content as well. And Jack's always off to, whenever I hear from him, he's always in Indonesia, or he's going to Namibia or Australia with his camera, and we know that he's going to come back with some good stuff. So excited about that as well.
Yeah, and so the Bear Grylls content, has that ever been published on YouTube before, or is it
There is some exposure on YouTube, but I really don't think that matters. I think we live in an amazing new digital economy where the more you're published and the more places you're published, then the more incremental your views are going to be.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working to cross-promote new Bear series, and it shouldn't, often you hear broadcasters or people coming from the traditional broadcast space worrying about cannibalization of content, and I don't think that's a thing. I think that was a thing back in the exclusive world of linear, where it was very much, those are my rights for the next 10 years and everybody else can go away. Yeah. It's more about, well, my audience is in lots of different places, and you see a rise of linear transmissions, of linear viewership when things appear on YouTube. There's lots of case studies to support that now. So hopefully we'll be able to work together to promote the new series as well as the existing content that we're publishing across digital and social, and get more viewers engaged in the content all in all.
And this really sort of underlines the power of a channel brand, doesn't it, really, and the importance of a channel brand. It's interesting what you're saying about non-exclusivity. It seems to be the last 2 years there's been a big shift in that, and we're starting to see a lot of distribution companies, even digital distribution companies, actually licensing content to each other.
Yeah.
So that's a completely different way of approaching things than was 5 years ago.
It is, but it's super exciting. I mean, you still have conversations, mainly, I have to say, with the bigger studios who are like, no, they're our rights. We're going to put them on our channels. Thank you very much. But more and more you're seeing an openness to why not? Like, what is there to lose? I understand you might want to keep some exclusivity for your broadcast window. Great. Let's look at it in 6 months. Let's look at it in a year. And look what happens. And okay, you're not going to get an upfront massive license fee like you might with a linear channel, but those are few and far between now as well. So why don't you look at what rights you've got and look at, are you fully exploiting them across all channels? Like, what can you do? And I think it's just a different mindset. But the people that have really given it a go, sometimes the proof's in the pudding, right? And you look at your royalty statements and you think, well, why didn't I do it earlier? So I think people might as well just give it a shot. Absolutely.
And we've seen some examples of actually shows, even formats that have actually become surprise hits in various territories around the world that have actually been then rebooted as a linear show as well. So there's,
see more and more of that, and more things moving from digital or social to linear. And I think it's great.
Yeah. And so for those who don't know about Cowshed, I mean, we cover them a lot in the drop, obviously, but for those who aren't aware of Cowshed and the overall business, because you run the ventures side of the business.
I do,
but tell us about the other parts of Cowshed.
Yeah, Cowshed are quite an exciting business that have been around since 2019, set up by two buddies called George and Ryan. I think they're becoming more and more familiar faces in the broadcast-facing industry as well as the digital roots. And they started in social, started producing content for a lot of brands. That's when I met them. I was working in the media agency side at the time, and they were the cool guys making loads of content for brands. And became friends, started consulting for them, and now on a long-term consultancy basis. I'm running the Ventures division, which is part of the overall group. So there's Cowshed Studios that produce a lot of original content for social, for brands, very well known for producing a lot of original formats for the Foot Asylum brand channel, 2.9 million subscribers, so it's quite well known. They produced the first 3 seasons of Inside, first on YouTube and then for Sidemen on Netflix. They produce shows for 4.0, produce for brands like Jet2, Boohoo Man, Bacardi, McDonald's, so lots of brand clients. They have a creator division, Cowshed Creators, that have quite a lot of interesting entertainment first talent, which we hope to be working with on the channel and on other channels that we're launching. They do their own post. They do everything sort of end to end, and it's really exciting to be in that digital space where so much is happening.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, Lucy, thanks for joining us. Great to see you.
Thanks for your time, and you.
And it's good to hear a Leeds accent on the croissant. One question for you before you go.
Yeah.
Are we going to stay up?
Absolutely, definitely staying up. If we carry on playing like we have, then no doubt about it, we were the better team against Spurs. So watch out, Burnley on Saturday.
That's exactly right. I saw Danny Fenton the other day, and he surprisingly had a different view of that game. But anyway, Lucy, thanks for joining us. Enjoy MIPCOM. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Justin. Take care.
I'm here with Robbie Lyle from Arsenal Fan TV, a face familiar to many. How you doing, Robbie?
I'm good. Enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
A bit of how I left it in the UK, but yeah. Nice.
And you're no stranger to Cannes. You come for Lions, don't you?
Yeah, I was here in June for Cannes Lions, so which was great. It was a great event. I mean, so it's great to be back here. It's a lovely part of the world, and to meet up with so many people. Industry people. It's a slightly different industry to the main one that I'm in, but it's been really good. Yeah, really good.
Great. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Arsenal Fan TV. So it's well, you explain. How would you describe it to those who haven't seen it?
Biggest football fan channel in the world. We give fans a chance to have their say on the football club they love. So started up pretty small, it was just a 2-man operation to begin with. We rocked up outside Arsenal, started interviewing fans. I'm a lifelong Arsenal fan, started getting fans' opinions after games, and over that was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, November.
Wow.
And, over a period of time, just become very, very popular, and we're still doing it now, and now we've sort of turned into like a fully fledged media company. We've also got another channel called DR Sports, which is like all football. We've got studios in North London, where we have a AFTV studio. We have a studio for DR Sports, and we create a lot of content. We make a lot of content around social media for all the social media platforms. Our biggest is YouTube, but we're pretty big on all platforms: TikTok, Snapchat. Instagram, Facebook. We've got over millions of followers over 6 million followers across those platforms. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And now, obviously, Arsenal fans are, first of all, they're the natural audience for you. But I mean, do you find that your content extends outside that Arsenal fan base?
Yeah, 100%. Especially now with DR Sports, because on DR Sports we feature influencers from all football clubs. But we've transcended the whole football industry. I mean, there's not a place you go in the world where people don't know AFTV. So we've recently been doing a lot of stuff in Africa, where we've been going to countries in Africa and doing what we call these watch parties, where we'll watch a game with fans from Africa. So we've done it in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone. We did it in Kenya. And the one we did the other day in Kenya, we had over 2,000 people watch the game with us. We had over 1,000 in Ghana, 1,000 in Sierra Leone. And the one in Nigeria had to do it in a secret location, or it would be mobbed. So, and one of the things is, we've gone around the world with this, and football fans, wherever you go, they're passionate about their football wherever you go around the world. So that has been really exciting, the recent stuff we've been doing in Africa, because I felt like nobody goes there. You know, like we go to America, we go to Australia, China, everywhere, but we've not really been to Africa, and there's so many passionate fans there. So it's been great to go around the world and speak to football fans because they love their you know, they're just as passionate as I am. I'm just lucky that I can get to go to games.
Yeah.
Because, I'm in the UK.
Yeah. And is your channel, competing with the official Arsenal channels? I mean, you're probably bigger now, aren't you?
They've got more. I'd say they've got more subscribers than us. But I'd say we've got more engagement than them because we talk to our audience every single day.
This is about opinion, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's passionate opinion on a kind of what you'd say niche subject, but it's actually a very big niche.
Yeah, and I feel like with what we've done, we've kind of changed the industry. You know what I mean? Because when we sort of first started doing what we were doing, we were the only people that were focusing on fans, excuse me, and getting fans' opinions in the way that we do it. So, and over the years now, lots and lots of different people are doing it for different clubs right around the world. So it has sort of changed how we speak to fans. When it comes to football.
Yeah, and because up to that point, it's very traditional kind of media operations around clubs, very sort of corporate business-like, and sort of focused on their own brand rather than. I mean, what you bring to this is that, if you win, lose or draw, everyone's got an opinion.
So authenticity.
Yeah, that's right. And and that's the secret for the success, isn't it?
Excuse me. Yeah, the authenticity, the fact that you give fans a chance to have their say. And I think that's why people love it. You know what I mean? Like,
you get some pretty passionate responses.
You can. I mean, football's a very passionate game. You know what I mean? Like, it really does get your emotions going, you know what I mean? So nobody wants to lose. And I always say, sometimes we go a bit overboard when we lose and we go a bit overboard when we win. You know what I mean? Right. That's football fans, you know? It's not always much of a middle ground, you know? Yeah. But, it's football. It's it's like a religion, isn't it? Yeah. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. Yeah. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you've got a great job, whether you've got no job, whether you're black, you're white, female, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You got your team, you love your team, and you all get together on that one day, or not even one day no more. It's like, we're in chat groups or we're watching content and we're commenting on it and we're all talking about football. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And I always say with football, the way in which I look at football is you got 90 minutes, that's the game. But leading up to that game, sometimes it can be a whole week of chat around the game. Who's starting, who should play, this person should play, that one shouldn't, who's injured, but all that leading up. Then you got the 90 minutes, and when it finishes, who was the best player, what happened there, that referee ripped us off, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Looking at the stats as well, right?
That continues to the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what's next for Arsenal Fan TV then? I mean, you've obviously, would you say you saturated the market for the Arsenal fan base? I mean, it probably can't grow any more than it has, or can it?
I hope so. No, we're still growing, and we're across loads of different platforms. We recently did a deal for the GFN network, which is what I own, which is like Arsenal Fan TV. That's DR Sports. There's some other channels in there as well, where we're on the Samsung TVs. So. Right. And we're doing more deals like that, and just making
fast channel deals for your content.
Fast channel deals. We're doing a lot at the moment, and we're on every platform. So, and it keeps growing. It keeps growing right across all what we do, and through that, many of our opportunities are arising. And like I'm here at the moment because principally to speak about a documentary that did with Ancestry and Appeal. Which is called Discovery Robbery, where they've sort of traced my ancestral roots right back to Jamaica. It's fantastic. So I was on a panel yesterday talking about that. And then tomorrow I'm talking about, on another panel, talking about the creator economy, which is a major economy now. Yeah. And I think I was at a YouTube festival the other day, and there was government ministers and that there, and they're taking it serious now. I felt in the past they've not taken this industry serious, even though it is changing how we consume content.
Yeah.
And I think at that festival they said £2.2 billion was made on YouTube alone in the creator economy in the UK last year. Yeah. So it's a big industry now, and I think, you know, it's been interesting talking to a lot of the traditional media guys here at MIPCOM, because I think a lot of them are realizing now that, you know, they have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Because the audiences that are online, I mean, and on social media, I mean, that's where young people are.
Yeah.
That's where they are. That's where they're consuming their content. And if you're not there, they're not there.
Yeah.
They're not with it. They're not watching your content. So I think you're seeing a lot of these major companies here are having to realize that they have to adapt.
Yes.
To this sort of changing world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Robbie, thank you so much for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
And I was actually at the Emirates earlier this season.
Okay.
I'm a Leeds fan.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. You know,
yes,
that was quite a drubbing, wasn't it?
It was
5-0.
Yeah,
that was a good performance by us that day.
It was painful, but there was some good. I had some good songs that we were singing. We were, well, I'm trying to think what I can actually say on the show, but I think "Second Again" I think is the
second again. That's when the more goals started coming in. You know what I mean? Every time. We played West Ham the other day. It was 0-0. That's what they started singing to Declan Rice. Second again, LA. And then straight away we scored.
Yeah.
You know, and people started singing to them. Relegate. What was it? Championship again, LA.
Yeah.
I think Leeds have. I think Leeds could stay up. You know.
Yeah.
But it's all on their home form.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I was really disappointed when the other day we lost to Tottenham. I mean, come on, man.
We were the better team as well. We were better team.
But it's just they just had that bit of quality, didn't they?
They had the quality.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Leeds can. It's a ground that I've been to many times.
Yeah,
there's a great atmosphere there, and I think Leeds can survive. But they got to play well at home.
Yeah,
and they can do it.
I think we can compete, and you know, there's so much riding on it because there's new stadium build coming, new owners with the
Red Bull and all that,
Red Bull and the 49ers. You know, so it's set to make a kind of the sleeping giant. I think could reawaken. But anyway, we could talk about football for
that's exactly what we're saying here.
Maybe I should start a Leeds channel.
Do it. There is actually a couple of Leeds channels out there already.
Yeah.
So I think there's a channel now for every single Premier League team, definitely. Yeah. I mean, you see one of your camera guys got a Wolves shirt on. And there's a Wolves channel. Yeah. I know those guys pretty well. You know what I mean? There's a lot. Everyone's got a channel now.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. It's great to see, you know. Yeah. So we kind of started a movement and I love it. So it's brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on all your success, Robbie.
Thank you.
With the documentary as well. Great to see you, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Sil Geurtsen, who's Head of Development at EndemolShine, Netherlands. Sil, great to see you. How are you?
Great to see you. I'm great. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, we're talking about creator economy, as you might imagine, at this MIPCOM. It's really the theme of the market. And EndemolShine Netherlands has had a real success with Let's Play Ball. It's something we've covered in the drop and on TellyCast before as well. So just for those who don't know about Let's Play Ball, tell us about the format and how it came to be, because it's a digital first project essentially.
Yeah, so we had the essential idea, the first idea about getting this huge ball and getting it from A to B with some challenges on the way. But it's always hard to really pitch something like this crazy to a network or right away. So we sat down with Stuk TV, who are like the sidemen of Holland, a big YouTube channel, do these kind of challenges to discuss, like, is this something we can do together? Can we work on this so that you try it? We have our little pilot, we have our little test, we have a little promo, but also to see if it works. And we already got a ball. So, and then they came back to us like, do you still have the ball? Let's do it. So that was really cool. And so we did our first test in Amsterdam, just one day with 3 guys. pushing the ball around. They made like a 30-minute video out of it that did very well. And it's also good to see what you hear also more now is that it's not only that a lot of people watch it, but also that they watch the whole thing. That was also the test for us. Like, do you want to see the whole thing? Do you want to see how it ends? And that gave us such more confidence to take it out. And we wanted to take it out, but before you could take it out, they already called us, Talpa in this case, to make it into a show for TV. So that was it worked out.
Fantastic. Well, that's a really great example of collaboration between creators and the legacy TV industry, if you like. I mean, is that something that the wider Banijay business is starting to focus on?
Yeah, we're doing it more and more. Also, trying stuff on new ideas on YouTube, or maybe also our legacy titles to see if that work on other channels. And I really believe in it, and definitely with these crazy new ideas, it's always good to try it out. And you see it also with the company we work with Signal, who we produce it and developed it with together, doing it more and more. And so there was a good collaboration to do more of these. Try it first things and then bring it to the big screen. And
so tell us about, are there any other broadcasters, or tell us about that journey then? So obviously it did well on YouTube, and then it got picked up by Talpa, you say. Yeah. And how about are there any other broadcasters that you're talking to at the moment?
A lot. So how it works is that every Banijay label takes it out. So every country has a Banijay label, they take it out. And it's already in development in the UK and in with Initial and Zeppotron, who also do LOL in the UK, because it's very comedy driven. Also, this format that felt like a really good fit, and now also with Bonnie Murray in the US, picking it up, and they're all pitching it now here, so that's really cool. And so I already heard about 8, 9, 10 countries really pitching it. And networks asking for it also. So that's a good thing. And very broad also. Streamers, linear channels. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. And so, I mean, would you also consider essentially repeating that model, if you like? So if there was a creator group, because obviously we're seeing a lot of creator collaborations and creator groups forming and becoming, like you say, the Sidemen, and others becoming hugely popular. Would you consider doing another pilot in another territory with another creator collective locally?
On this show or in general?
In general.
No, in general, definitely. I think this model, everybody also likes this case and this model and this. So, no, there's definitely a chance that we do more of these. We always go from format to format to see what's the best way to get it to the screen. And if there's a possibility to do this with the other group or with Signal again, then we will definitely do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Sil, thank you so much for joining me. It's been fantastic to meet you. Congratulations on the success of Let's Play Ball.
Thank you.
And let us know about any other creator collaborations that you're doing at EndemolShine Netherlands.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's about it from this year's MIPCOM. TellyCast was produced by Spirit Studios and recorded in Cannes. We'll be back next week with Tom Gulsevan from Strong Watch Studios. Until then, stay safe.